Hi guys, hope you're all doing good. Could Kusama surpass Polkadot? Because all the new features are implemented in Kusama. So I mean, my take is no, because Kusama is meant to be pretty much the testnet version of Polkadot. So in terms of wide adoption, I don't think that would be possible because it's hard for testnet to get more adoption than the mainnet. Maybe I understand the two projects wrong. I haven't looked too much into Kusama, but that's kind of my high level understanding of it. Polkadot we have looked into.
Mm.
So, I mean, I think the hype in Kusama has mainly been just the frenzy and pretty much traders speculating. But long term, yes, there'll be a use case for people wanting to test applications on Kusama before launching them on Polkadot, which could be maybe a bigger audience. Maybe Polkadot is kind of more like the VIP. Then everyone kind of dabbles on the testnet or Kusama. But me personally,
Yeah.
I'm bullish on Polkadot over Kusama.
So, we sit here today looking back historically of how long Litecoin was present in the top 10 market cap. So, Kusama brands themselves as an exact identical replica of Polkadot. Litecoin never overtook Bitcoin, but it was definitely a major financial investment. If you had invested in Litecoin, you probably would have made a lot of money, or well, gotten Litecoin from whatever their fork was, I guess. And if you had gone through multiple different cycles of Litecoin, you would have made a ton of money. So Kusama, if Polkadot goes off, which is now at I think number 5 last time I checked, then it wouldn't be surprising if we saw some sort of top 20 market cap on something Kusama related. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV, they're all in top 20 market caps. I see no difference here.
I
Uh,
literally thought the exact same thing. I was like, it's like Litecoin for Bitcoin, but it's on Dot, you know? But they do have stuff running. I mean, Dot's not finished yet, right? It's not completely up and running. So they may have that little bit of a first mover advantage, and that's why they've done so. I mean, I remember buying it at $2.50 and there was no liquidity and being like, this is a bad buy. This is stupid. I'm buying a testnet
That
coin.
was the
And
IOU, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah. I was thinking about buying that. I just wasn't sure what it was. I'm like, no thanks.
had no idea. But my buddy Ricky Fundamentals, he was like, dude, this is gonna be big. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I'm just telling you. And he's like so good at fun. He does nothing but charting, but all fundamentals. And he's like bang on all the time. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna Ricky too, Maddie.
Ricky
And
50 chain or whatever.
man,
Yeah.
yeah, Irish. And so he was just like, yo, man, you got to get into Kusama. I was like, all right, I'll give it a punt. And I put it in at 250 and I just watched it go up. And I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. But then he was like telling me about, Dot's not ready. Kusama's pretty much ready. You can start building on it right now. And that's what that whole Bondly finance. That's a project trying to merge the Kusama and Polkadot blockchain into one that Ian Friends working with or promoting in the Ferrum network. So it's quite interesting to see
Is that
where
bonded or
the
bondly?
Bondly. There's
Bondly.
like Bondly bonded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like 50. There's like bonded finance, bondly.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I think that, all these projects, it depends on what they do. Like, if they come out and build some really cool stuff on Kusama, it could do really well. But I think Dot has Web3 and they have a lot of power players behind them. So I think longer term, that definitely will I agree
Mm-hmm.
with Ian.
Well,
Overtake.
they're complementary to Ethereum, right? They're not replacing anything. I think this like
yeah.
batch transaction advantage, right? So they'll
Mhm.
never pass Ethereum, but they'll make Ethereum better.
All right. So some
Yeah.
people in the comments are saying, Joey says Kusama is detaching from Polkadot. Community is starting to support the idea. All right. Bill, could you maybe chart Polkadot and Kusama just to kind of see where the short-term trends are going?
Yeah, so I've got Kusama's KSM, right?
Yes.
So I've got this up here, and this is what the Elliott wave guys call a series of ones and twos, right? So somebody's taking this seriously. So you have a leg up, and then you have this really deep correction, okay? Watch everybody getting stopped out right here, okay? This is 89-minute charts. So this is probably smart money coming in. Okay. And then it happens again where they have kind of a rally. Okay. And you can see they're down here again. So this Kusama looks like, it looks like people want it. and it's kind of interesting. It's billed as a Litecoin, but as I understand it, the Bitcoin's not fully working yet. So it's got kind of an advantage there, and people are looking for things where everyone else is not holding a bag into the end of the year, right? So that could be one of those plays, right, where people can buy a dip, but it's not so big that they got to worry about all bag holders into the end of the year.
Now, how about Polkadot from a TA perspective?
All right, let me take a look at Polkadot. Just give me a second to find it.
Okay, no worries.
It needs to break out still.
Well, I was gonna preface it by saying that, you know, when you're a top 10 coin, your upside is limited versus the natural movements of the market. Right. So Kusama looks to be well poised to have more upside, obviously, while Polkadot's already kind of capped to a small gain over market volatility.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the everybody owns it kind of game, right? So this is like the 89-minute version of DOT. It looks a lot like Kusama. The only thing that I would note is that, you know, this bothers me about Polkadot, right? I know it's great, but you got a lot of people inside this rectangle that got real hyped up about buying the dip, and they got hurt. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you bought it here, here, and here. And this is, like he said, he's not a small coin, right? This is a big play. So
there's a lot of marketing. There's a lot of marketing built into that emotion right there too. You know, Polkadot was being released. The IOUs were coming out from Huobi. I'm sure there was a lot of selling pressure coming from the OTC markets because it had been locked up for like 2 years. A lot of negative sentiment on that side. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It's going to take a while to kind of shake off those cobwebs and start seeing some natural market cycles.
Yeah. Right, and of course it's like a contrarian idea with Kusama, right? It's like, oh well, it's like Litecoin, therefore it's terrible. My joke about Litecoin is the only reason to own it is that no one likes it, right? So Kusama, if Kusama's like Litecoin and it's this like little brother that nobody knows about yet, then maybe you got to take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm firing something big, I think, after this call.
And then Pedro, your thoughts on Polkadot and Kusama?
You're muted.
It's hard to hear you. I think the volume is low. Okay, all right.
We'd like to
go ahead, Coach K. Anybody else with any other comments on Polkadot or Kusama?
No, I just think that people are going to look at a lot of these projects coming out of Polkadot and, you know, like the Polka swaps and stuff, and they're going to see huge, massive upside. I mean, the market's changed. We could talk about that too, how we went from raising $25 to $50 million on a project to raising $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $4 million for projects. And the massive amount of upside is huge. And now there's liquidity in the market. You know, you couldn't keep the markets liquid with $50 million projects and having everything be a $50 million project. It's not possible. So I think that these new projects have a lot of promise. And, you know, Polkadot's really hot right now. And anything that's built on Polkadot, everyone wants Polka Starter, Polka Swap, Polka.
Polka
know,
Starter?
So it's
that's a project?
Yeah, I invested in Polka Starter. I invest in anything that's less than $3 million and has the word Polkadot in it. So you know, fire those bullets away. But you know, Kusama, you know, you look at Litecoin right now, sitting at $3 billion at number 12. You know, Tron's at number 15 with $1.8 billion, 250 million market cap. What's stopping this thing from getting a nice, you know, 5 to 10x on some blue chip low volatility? It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. All right. So to our audience, tell us what you think. Are you more bullish on Kusama or Polkadot? Down in the comments below.